I talk about vaping or smoking, a very specific childhood memory comes to mind. I was about 6 or 7 and I had recently learned about the dangers of smoking. It was during a biannual trip to my grandma's house where I connected the dots that my grandma was a smoker and smoking is bad for you. Thus, I took the only logical action for a 6-year-old. I hid her cigarettes. If you can guess, my plan did not come to fruition and I actually ended up getting in trouble, even though we all knew smoking was bad for you. Today there are a lot better methods for smoking cessation, though some of them, such as e-cigarettes and vaping, their effectiveness and validity are arguable. Vaping does possess theoretical validity as a cessation tool for current smokers, but even if the practical evidence for its success was conclusive, vaping remains an under-researched and under-regulated danger to everyone else in society, especially our youth. Han Lik, a Chinese pharmacist, is credited with the original invention of the e-cigarette, which he created after his father died of lung cancer, presumably as a safer alternative. As for the modern-day safety of the e-cigarette, the CDC states that e-cigarette aerosol generally contains fewer harmful chemicals than the smoke from burned tobacco products, but does go on to say the e-cigarettes still contain harmful chemicals to our lungs. Vaping, despite having its own risks, could be a less harmful alternative to cigarettes. That is, if cigarette smokers stopped smoking cigarettes once they started vaping. In actuality, this does not often happen. Even the original inventor of the e-cigarette continued to use vaping in combination with smoking regular cigarettes, despite the original intent of his invention. Most of the evidence for vaping as a tool for smoking cessation is completely inconclusive. Some studies say that it can help maintain longer periods of abstinence, while others say it reduces your odds of quitting by up to 70%. Without any solid evidence proving that vaping works effectively as a tool to help smokers quit their addiction, why would we allow it to exist on the open market without regulation as we do now? It is dangerous to human health and defeats the entire purpose of its invention when available to non-smokers. According to the Food and Drug Administration, over 2 million U.S. youth use e-cigarettes, and a report by Truth Initiative in 2019 says that 27.5% of high school students have used an e-cigarette product. Some may say this isn't as bad as cigarettes at least, but this has so many more issues than you would think. Many teenagers aren't aware that their favorite vaping products even contain nicotine. And even if they only use flavors, the Surgeon General's report on e-cigarettes claim that e-liquids produce chemical reactions that may result in the formation of new, harmful carcinogens and toxic heavy metals that have been found in e-cigarette aerosols. To put the nail in the coffin, current and past users of e-cigarettes are more likely to use traditional cigarettes in the future. Due to the open availability of these products, instead of reducing drug use, a whole new generation of users has begun. And with many of the health effects still unknown and unresearched, this is a dangerous trend that could follow in the footsteps of its tobacco predecessors. Even if vaping was a tried and proven method of smoking cessation, which it is not, it creates new drug users under the guise of being a safer alternative, which is a dangerous practice that threatens public health as a whole.